Here we go.
Hey, everyone. This is literally the second last day of February 2019, and I'm so excited for this call today. We have somebody on the line today that I just can't even believe that I got the hold of her to bring her here to talk to us today. She is our $5 million club member, one of the very first, actually, I believe the very first founder in the company. She's been with us literally with the company since day one. She is an incredible mentor. She's now also an author. She leads literally the biggest team in the company, you guys. So please help me welcome Toni Vanschoyck today to this call. I'm so excited that you're here. Everybody saying
Thanks, you guys. Whoop, whoop.
so. As it is month-end time right now, I know, Toni, that you didn't get to the top of the company, to the senior executive director, without having certain month-end procedures in place that you follow every single month. And I think we're all kind of curious, what is it exactly that you're gonna do? Do you have like a checklist that you go through at the end of each month to make sure everything is kind of in place and everybody is where they need to be?
Well, you know what, Pile, I think it all starts with onboarding, and especially new market partners. And what you do is you onboard them and you teach them what to look for. But honestly, especially when their first full month, I truly believe that the 1st, the 15th, and the 20th are key indicator dates of when you need to really look at your numbers. But you know what, I got to be honest with you. You should be looking at your numbers every day. When you start out, when you're first starting out, that's going to look a little bit different, but especially, tracking your KPIs, your key performance indicators, you need to know your numbers. You do. And you need to know what to look for, with new market partners, even with seasoned market partners. Sometimes they need help going through the graphic tree and looking on, to see what their leaders need to rank. So I really think that those 3 dates are imperative. But I'm going to tell you what, and I've heard this from some industry professionals. I've heard this from people on the corporate side. I always say front load your calendar. And some people don't necessarily like when I say that, but you know what? It's the truth. My opinion is not up for debate. We just seen that it proves is that you should be paid as your current title by the 15th. You should have all of your numbers in personally, your team, the same thing, because here's the thing. Then you're not scraping around at the last minute, because today, here's the thing. I would rather much you guys be doing the income producing activities right now. And I know that we're just taking a few minutes, but might be able to help you spark something to do for your team before the end of the month to hit numbers, to hit your, to hit those first qualifiers for Cancun. So, and also Smart Start. So, there's a lot of stuff to look at because if you have new people, you want to get them a check in their hands as fast as you can. But the bottom line is that you have to be proactive. And that's why I think front loading your calendar so much, because from the 15th till the end of the month, then you know what, you're not scrambling around to make numbers or help your team make numbers so they can get paid as, or so that they can rank advance, or so that they can collect Smart Start. I always think that being proactive, and here's the thing, I probably sponsor and acquire more VIPs in the last 2 or 3 days of the month than any other time out of the month, because I don't sandbag. That will kill your business, and you will teach people the same thing. And honestly, their first 30 days is the most important, no matter when they come in. So, and our numbers prove that, because statistically speaking, a market partner's first 30 days is when they have the most momentum. So Arlene says sandbagging is you sponsor somebody on the 26th, 27th, 28th, or till the end of the month, and you say, oh no, wait until the 1st, because then you have a whole nother month. Don't do that. Sign them up when they're ready, because if you do that, then you're going to teach them that day is just as important as the first half of the month. Okay.
Absolutely.
So also too, you guys check all your front lines numbers. Tell them what they need. If they're newer and they're within, MMB within 30 or 60 days, you're going to have to go in. You're going to have to help them break down on what their people need in order to rank advance, in order for them to get paid as, or in order for their newbies. I always think of it, you teach a baby to walk. It's the same thing with holding a new market partner's hand. And you usually have to do that with them with the comp plan because there's so many different ways to get paid. So that's key. Okay. So, but you've got to teach them that. You can't be going to look at every MMB in your organization. And I know that there's a lot of seasoned people here on the call. You can't do that for every MMB and every MMB in their organization. That would take way too much time. You need to teach them what they're looking for. Have them have that one-page comp plan breakdown to know exactly what they need. Okay. Then you progress from the rank that they're at to the next level. You do not go above that next level because that becomes counterproductive. It's too much information.
I totally agree that these are some golden nuggets. I was writing as fast as I could.
Well, it's being recorded, so that's a good thing.
I know, thank goodness. So, the one thing that I always remember you telling us about that, in order to have success, in order to have successful month ends, amongst other things, is to have events on a regular basis. And I know you're like the events queen. I remember when I first joined the company, you literally, I believe you always met at the same place, same time every week, whether people showed up or not. Tell us a little bit about it and what your views are about events in general and why we do need to have them on a regular basis.
Yeah. So you know what? You start out having the events, but then your team has to start having events. And when they're at MMB, they're ready. Even before then, depending on how much hand-holding that they need, but even at their launch, they should be out there, doing, reading from the brochure. They should be out there sharing their story. So that's really key. But here's the thing. Okay. So you guys, where my personally sponsored or my frontline is, I still am up there every single quarter doing something. And, that's really important because, again, they chose your personally sponsored or your frontline. Sometimes your frontline doesn't choose you, but you're theirs by default. They still count for you. So I try to do at least something with them on a face-to-face level at least once a quarter. I'm not at that point yet where, and these are for MMBs and above. If they're a new market partner, if they can guarantee to put me 20 new people in a room for their launch, I will go because I can usually do day trips in one day. But for me. That's where I'm at in my business. You all may not be there. This is why you've got to utilize Zoom, Skype, or FaceTime because you can be right in their living room. But it's really key that you're there with them that very first event that they have. With that being said, yes, I hold regular events. It's a little bit more difficult now because my team is more widespread locally than I have local team members at this point. So you have to focus on, for Chicago, the reason why I'm back there so dang much is because we have 5 huge legs in Chicago. So I go back there more than I go to, let's say, Oklahoma, because even though Ann, Julie, and Kyla are there, they're only in one organization. And Ann and Kyla and Julie are perfectly capable of handling stuff on their own. They have huge organizations. So you have to go, and I really want to focus, too, my big focus is getting people, especially market mentors and MMMs, I want to get them to director. So I'm really, and if they're growing and they're working their personal business, that's, that's those younger leaders that are still growing. I want to get them up to the next level. So, and it's really important that you hold regular events because you're teaching them how to do the same thing. So, I would have to say, and you know what, and their socials, sometimes they do stuff with their team. Sometimes it's a Meet Monat with cross-line leaders and they're doing it at a bigger venue. Sometimes it's at, a boutique or, I've done ones at, yoga places. I've done ones, getting a makeover or skincare or whatever. There's all sorts of different things that you do. But the bottom line is you got to keep it simple and you got to have fun.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But rhythm of events is huge. And you guys, for some reason, we always focus, and again, not focusing on March. It ain't over till it's over. Do a Facebook Live before the end of business tomorrow. Do a Meet Monat Facebook Live for you and your team, you and your group, your GV team. and invite guests, but do something before the end of business day tomorrow. Do an IPA. Get the business in front of somebody before the end of business tomorrow and give them the option to spend, save, or make, because you'll get, if you're going to talk to 3 people, you'll get at least one person. And the power of one is really important.
For sure. And it's something simple people can do from home without having to leave the house, right? Because the month ends tend to get really, really hectic. And the last thing we want to do is actually get out of the house. But talking about events, so this is something that I think everybody on the line here knows about now. And I'm really, really excited. I know, Toni, you have only a few minutes left, but let's please talk about why you're coming to Vancouver on the 30th of March. I know people are like losing their minds. They're so excited because we've been waiting for this day for a long time. And so there's a Super Saturday happening. Why are Super Saturdays different? Or why should somebody, if somebody doesn't do regular Meet Monates, why is Super Saturday something that they should really, really consider coming to? And what's going to be, tell us a little bit what you envision for this event as well.
Well, you guys, I don't know if you noticed, but Super Saturdays and Super Sundays are kind of like my jam. But I always do a Meet Monate first. It's imperative. You're already getting together anyways. A Meet Monate or a Monate Social should be done as a precursor to every single event. Mm-hmm. And the reason this being even corporate events, and I got into the thick of it with the boot camps going on, and they wanted to separate the events, doing the Meet Monate and then doing the boot camp the day after. And I said, you guys already have a captive audience. I firmly feel that if you have all of these beautiful people in one room, we've got to share the love. So the Meet Monate is always first on a Super Saturday or Super Sunday. And it's not just Super Saturday, you guys, because just for some people in certain areas or where we have a high concentration of stylists, Super Sundays right after church, it's a beaut. I actually have a better turnout on Super Sundays than we do on Saturdays for the most part. Just because, a lot of Saturdays, it's date night. They have weddings, they have kids' sporting activities. So Sundays seem to work really well. However, I'm not making any light of that. Just figure out what works best for you. The point of these meetings is for the local team members and the local leaders to come together, and you really get trained by the trainer. But the best part is that I love when we partner with corporate on these events, because it's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's kind of like, you're getting love and hugs and warm fuzzies and from your home office staff. And you're also having a leader platform where we can really, truly share and get down to the nitty gritty. Don't get me wrong. I love corporate events, but at the end of the day, the leaders are doing the do, and that's where people want to hear from. And so your Super Saturdays are they're going to consist of at least 3 components if I'm going to be there. Okay. And these are 3 non-compromisable, because these are the backbone builders of our business. That's VIPs, it's sponsoring, and it's leadership content. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to add a 4th, because we need the men there. Ladies, I don't care if your partners, your spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, I don't care, your dads, your moms, your brothers, your nephews. Jay is going to be there training, and we have other men that are going to be there training. You need to get the men there, because I'm going to tell you a fundamental difference. In Chicago last month, we really started pushing the male potential, because we're missing that. You guys go to a Meet Monate, the men are like, there's a token or 2 males in the entire room. We're missing the boat, okay? I've been after Stuart and Ray to make men's product packs, to make men's samples available on the Connect app, because it is super important. But the thing about it is that this business is equal opportunity. So now we've incorporated a men's panel and men's training. You got to get the guys there. It's really important. So those 4 components as of now those are going to be 4 things that we always touch base on. And because we are inviting more men into the mix and more men are showing up, the comp plan training to MMB, and to show them what's possible at each potential level, they want to know, because men are easy. They want to know 2 things. Does the product work, and how much money can I make? Yeah. Women, you got to get married to it. So
That is so true. Well, and we have a question here as well, which actually I was going to bring up too. How would you invite somebody to a Meet Monat or a Super Saturday? What kind of wording do you use, or how do you go about it?
So, I always ask them, and again, it's a process. I'm not going to ask somebody that I haven't already introduced Monat to or anything like that. I want to compliment them. I want to say, hey, what you would probably be really good at this business. I don't know if it's a right fit for you or not. Would you be willing to spend 45 minutes with me? Can I get you in front of somebody that's truly amazing? I'll buy you a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, depending on what the event is, or a bagel or whatever. And it would be my treat. Okay. They're taking time out of your schedule. You need to invest in them just a little bit, because here's the thing. If you can get them to a meeting, they're already 80% decided that they want to do this. They're already intrigued. And I will guarantee you that who's ever doing the Meet Monat is going to close them for you. Because we have that famous script from what? The Meet Monat, right?
Love it.
So keep it simple, keep it light, keep it fun. And you know what, you guys, I have been bringing incentives for guests. I was completely against it for a long time, but it makes it fun. So like to Vancouver, and I haven't checked with Ginger or Jackie if they're bringing anything. But what I do is during the Meet Monat, I pack little gift bags. And, whenever I'm out shopping, which I don't do, I make Naomi do it, but she sees and I do all natural products. So like we get a pack of Burt's Bees lip balm, or Dr. Bronner's little liquid soaps, or like an all natural face mask. I have her pick up a bunch of them, and then we put in some Monat samples. And then for the first person that agrees to come up to the room that becomes a part of our Monat family, I actually give them a full bottle of something that they can take home and use right away. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you what, our close rate has increased by 60% at the last 4 meetings that we've had.
Wow.
So they just and I say, come up anytime when you're ready. And I also say, but the first one that comes up gets a little something special. So, we're always looking to, do that. I always bring a little something for the person that brings the most guests. And if there's a tie, it's whoever has the highest PV. So, people, again, need to know their numbers. And what's really fun is that people are there and they're like, I don't know what my PV is. And I'm like, do you have your Vibe app? Check it real quick. Because we want to show them, in order for you to be more successful, you have to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that was
Emily,
all the question.
Bring on the men.
Absolutely. And I did hear that for the Vancouver event, the corporate is actually bringing select sampling sets for all the guests. So that's going to be super amazing.
Do they get them in the packages though? Or are they just getting the samples? Like the new sample app has? That'd be really cool.
I'm not quite sure. To the Canadian events, like the one that we had here in January, they were in this silver Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
They looked really nice.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
So I have a feeling that it may be those, but yeah. Anyway, you guys, we have to pack that room. There's room for 300 people in that auditorium at BCIT. We're hoping to get at least 50 or 150 to 200 people in there. So get those registrations in. We need numbers for catering and everything as well. So let's get on it and let's challenge ourselves and just keep inviting people, because we don't know when Toni's going to be here again. So you want to get those people in front of the $5 million earners.
And this is the first time. I mean, I was at the regional, but this is the first time I've come up there to do an event. And you guys, by no means is it easy. It takes us a whole day to fly there. So I want to pour into you guys. Who's going to Vancouver? We are.
Hey,
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I can't wait to see you guys. I'm really looking forward to being up there.
And you guys, I'm telling you, we just had a huge event in Chicago this past weekend with 320 people. And it's so great when you hear from the field, the leaders training, the leaders training, training. It just, there's something so special about it. Shannon, you were at one when I came up to Kelowna, and we did one with Nicole Barrett, and Shannon was there, and Lindsay Hilton. This is probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was Kamloops.
Okay. Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But this is really where, I've heard so many people respond back to me, and we'll send out surveys and say, what were your takeaways? And they're like, it's just the best, getting trained by the leaders. And, but this is, what I've found though, when I bring in my RSD or Stuart's there or Ray's there, people are really excited to hear from them in a smaller, more intimate setting. So you guys have that opportunity with Jackie coming out there, and also Ginger. And I've talked to Ginger the first time I met her. She is so like me. I love that gal. She is just no bullshit, cuts, straight, gives it to you straight. And I really appreciate that about people. So she's going to add a lot of value as well. So I'm super excited. And then the gratitude portion, Bethany's going to be there to cut the check, or Jackie's going to be there to cut the check for, I think, the Boys, Girl, and Club, the $10,000 check. Guys, that's huge. That's huge. Lulu's trying to say hi too. You trying to say hi? Here, hold on.
Oh, let's see Lulu.
Do you want to say hi?
Oh.
Come here. She's walking away now. She was trying to jump up and say hi. She wanted to say hi to everybody.
Oh, too cute.
Right. Yeah. Super important that we get guests there, because you guys, we sponsor more guests at these events than I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. So, and I want to create value for you guys. I mean, this is why we're coming. I just don't go say, hey, can you come here? I can't tell you, how many people that we have to turn down, but you guys are a huge, huge part of our team, our organization, our company. And I love going places that I've never been before, because it's truly an honor. So,
and it's going to be an honor to have you here. So thank you so much. So I do know that you do have to run now because you have another important call to be on, but thanks for taking time. Thanks for your tips. And I think we can really pack that room, you guys. What do you think?
We can. You just got to keep personally inviting people. That's it.
Exactly.
Love you guys too. Take care. Successful month end, and keep going for your goals, guys.
Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Toni.